And I was thinking about it today, and today Grace and I had uni, and we were in our sociology lecture, and there was this one girl, and she's pretty cute. She's got pink hair, and she was a bit alternative looking, and it made me realise, I like people who are different from the norm, and sometimes that can mean just someone who looks a bit alternative in a crowd of relatively generic looking people who fit that regular femme kind of look, or even in the gay scene it can mean someone who chooses not to conform to the cool gay way of dressing, if you've seen people who look like Shane, because that seems to be the carbon copy sometimes. And I'm also really attracted to intelligence, people who aren't afraid to say their opinions and can back them up, especially when these opinions go against other people, but also someone who won't lose their cool like when discussing contentious issues like that, or contentious opinions of theirs. That's cool, and that's hot. Yeah, hands down. For me, this would be spring. Not only because my birthday falls in spring, mine and Grace's birthday, but just because it's a nice balance between being warm but not being too hot, and still having that kind of greenness that just comes out after it's been cold, and it's really pretty. Having said that, I like winter and autumn just because of the way that it allows me to dress, because I'm definitely a hats, scarves, long sleeves person. I'm a person who prefers to wear more clothes rather than less, generally, just because that's how I am. But spring. My answer to that is I don't have any tattoos. For a long time, to begin with, I didn't find them attractive or desirable, and I think there's been a big shift in the way people think about tattoos, from perhaps something that was more associated with bikies, lower class, those kinds of images, to something that's a lot cooler and more alternative, but still within the cool alternative sort of thing, especially for gay people maybe. So now I find them a lot more attractive, and apparently I've been told that I would look really hot with a sleeve. So, I don't know, would I? You tell me. But, yeah, I'm really not someone who'd get a tattoo unless I was totally sure that it was what I wanted and that it meant something really significant to me. And that's not to say I'll never get one, but at this stage of my life I'm just not prepared to, because I would regret it. But if I did get one, it would probably be something with religious significance, because my religion, my Christian faith, is something that's really fundamental in my life, and it's a cornerstone of a lot of my values and beliefs, and hopefully a lot of my actions as well. So that's probably where that'd come from. But right now, the only mark that I have on me that's drawn on or in ink is the one that I often get because my work texter in my pocket likes to leak, and so half the time I walk around with a black spot. I'm wearing trackies, but about there, which no one can see because I don't go flashing that part all the time. But I'm marked with the black spot, so I'm probably cursed by pirate terms. But that's the extent of my markings, so to speak. Martine asked, what did you want to be when you were younger? One of my answers would be a dog breeder. And Grace and I collected magazines with dog breeds in them, read books on how to train dogs. We were obsessed with dogs. We even wrote a song about wanting a dog, which, yeah, we were pretty keen on that. This is hard for me because I'm not totally sure what field I want to be working in. Well, what job specifically, beyond that I really enjoy women's studies. Sociology is secondary to that, so I'm interested in that kind of thing, the way society works, and what it means to be a woman within that, but also just gender roles and stuff like that, and that ties really well into being queer. So I think that could actually be a big benefit, being queer in these fields, because it gives me a new way of looking at things. And I did really well in women's studies last year, and I think part of that is because I was queer, and I've looked up some of this stuff before. But at the same time, within any workforce there's a potential for discrimination, and as long as queer people are a minority and we're still not equal in the eyes of society, I'd be really surprised if I didn't encounter prejudice or discrimination in one form or another. So I think that's going to be hard. Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But I'd like to think that they would be right for that moment. Even if it was to say to everybody, I love you. But somehow more poetic and amazing. So my hat wear of choice today is a beanie I found around the house, which is Jarvis Walker, which is a fishing brand, so I hope you guys appreciate that. First question this week is What Turned You On by Jen, which Ellen's introduced already. I really value intelligence in people, but I do think people can be really intelligent but still have one opinion, if you know what I mean, like know a lot about a topic but not be open-minded. I really value people who can weigh up the different parts of things and be rational. That being said, like, someone who's rational can be a really dry person too. So one thing that really attracts me to people is someone who's really passionate about a topic, because I really get drawn to people with passion, and particularly creative people. If you're an artist or a writer or a musician, that's just like a hole for me, and I just get sucked in because I love that stuff. That's it, I feed off it. It keeps me going, and I get really excited about that sort of stuff. Someone who's fun-loving. I get a kick out of people who are, you know, passionate about social justice stuff. You know, actually care about the state of the world and where it's going, and actually think about the structures that make us live the way we do and things like that. Having my sense of humour is really important. Confidence is important, but not cockiness. People who are comfortable with where they're at and happy to assert that, but are okay to admit when they're wrong as well. I'm just painting an image of the perfect person, so I'm just going to stop. Which inanimate object best represents Grace? I'm just going to look around the room and see what I can find. Grace is like a pocket knife because she has some features to her that no one really knows what they're for, but they might come in handy one day. Do I have any tattoos? I don't have any tattoos. If I was going to get a tattoo, I would get something that I design myself. One of the many things I love to do is design tattoos with my art, because I can't really think of something much cooler than having your artwork walking around on a living canvas permanently on other parts of the world. What did I want to be when I was younger?
Baker, toy shop owner, dog breeder, author, policewoman, firewoman, astronaut, puppeteer, puppet maker, professional skater, and I can't skate.
What is my favourite season? Spring! And that is not only because my birthday is in October, but I love the in-between weather. You know, when it's sunny but it's not too hot to be out, and there's little ducklings and things roaming around at the lake nearby, and it's just a really good time of year. How do you think being queer will affect the life path you're currently working towards or will be working on in the future? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? If I can use what I've learnt from sociology and women's studies in a statement sort of way through my art, and make a living from it, that would be pretty awesome. I think if I'm ever someone who's going to be vocal about queer issues particularly, being gay yourself is always going to affect that. People, you know, will either take you more seriously or less seriously, or think you're biased or think you're not. I mean, queer is going to affect all parts of my life in different ways, and, you know, the coming out process is continual, so I think being queer will continue to affect that. And our last words together will be goodbye, because this video is too long. And I'm allowed to do that because I made up that question. Tune in tomorrow for my team. Bye!